Welcome back to the channel. I wish you could hide the hood on this game without mods. I am today showing you the best place to build a whole big base for you. This is a 7-in-1 base. I'm going to show you the full tutorial on how to make it, but I wanted to very quickly show it off to show you what you can kind of build with it. When the new DLC comes out, Tides of Terraria, I am certain there will be more places to build big bases. However, we can't know for sure. So if we head over to here, which is at -305, -22, there is a whole big space where you can space out enough bases where you can have 7 in 1. I am assuming that the Tides of Terraria island is going to be up here in the right, which if it is would make this base bang in the middle of the entire map. So, you know, if you wanted to invest some time into building here, you can. Now, you can also stack items on top of each other in all of these bases if you want. However, I wanted them to be nice and all laid out with no glitchy looking things. So here is my farm base, and with one of the Pal Expedition places too. Each of my bases have a space for me to run through, but unfortunately my Xenolord can't run through, so we're just going to fly up to the top and go out the top. Whee! Over here we have kind of like our farming egg place with, you know, some sacrificing of pals, and also as well any research that I need to do, which I haven't done in a very long time. And then over here we have our next base, which is our mining area. So, you know, all our minerals, coal, sulfur, metal, everything here is just on automation. I don't have to worry about it whatsoever. I really dislike how they get together over here and just don't do nothing. Oh, Knockham just disappeared. Right, so that is where I get all of my metal and all my minerals. Over here is my farm for food. These guys just absolutely pump out food. Like, I never have to worry about it. It's just always there. If you ever build a base like this though, where you don't stack the food on top of each other, make sure you've got food baskets, food storage on every single side, because they seem to keep to the middle and then never go to the outside ones. But if they're taking food from here over to one of the boxes, they'll then start working on the outside layer. So that's why I have all the food boxes all the way around. Over here we have essentially just another random little place. So we've got our water guys doing all this stuff here. We've got an extra food place, everything we need to grind over here, you know, just a utility base kind of thing. Nothing special. I just needed something to fill in another base. Over here we have our Fireboys place, where we make gold coins and we make all the ingots and everything. So I just grab all that stuff from the other base, I throw it into the power box thing, this thing, I can't remember what it's called, guild chest, and then I can just pick it out and make more stuff. Over here, they're hungry, I need to go check on them. Over here in the middle is our main base. So this is something that I've relatively new to my base. I had a whole big middle base, but all of my pals kept getting stuck and it was really frustrating, so I rebuilt the whole thing. So we have down here our like chest area, which I haven't kind of finished yet. You know, I've got some things listed on where to store everything, and then as we go up one floor we have access to all of our kind of like manufacturing stuff, where I don't need to go to another base if I just really want to do something quickly. We got all our kind of basic stuff over here, etc, etc. Some more research stations, just everything from the other bases, so that I don't have to travel if I'm in a rush or something. We got skill fruit trees, a little bit of an extra farm, and more breeding farm things, not breeding, farm things over here. So yeah, this is a really cool base if you want to set it up. Mine's all made out of glass because I like to punish my frames and my PC. But yeah, pretty goddamn cool. So now let's talk about how to build it. To 25 minutes deleting stone foundations. Now, after I built the bases back up, I'm gonna have to spend another 25 to 30 minutes putting them all back down. Before we get into the build, I would suggest setting up your custom settings for the world a little bit differently. So for daytime speed, I'd put it down to 0.1. This makes the day way longer, and if you happen to fall into nighttime, you want nighttime speed up till 5, so it runs through it really quickly. Because you want to be building in the light, it just makes it a lot easier. Everything here I turned down like pal appearance rate, so that there's less pals around that you have to keep killing to be able to build around. Damage to pals multiplayer 5, just so you can pop them once and not have to worry about them. The hunger and stamina for everything, just turn it all the way down so you don't have to worry about food and stuff. And I think just in general, whatever you're doing, whether you're building or not, your structure deterioration rate should always be 0. That means you don't ever have to fix any walls, replace them or anything like that. If you want to play where you're getting attacked by pals and they're going to take down your walls, then, you know, obviously that's a different story. But I think for the most part, you should always just have it at 0. Then for the item weight rate, you want to turn this down to 0. That means that all the stone and wood that you hold to build with will not weigh you down, so you don't have to keep running backwards and forwards and getting material. And those are the things that you need. Right, to start off, I'm going to try and position you as best you can to get all 7 bases in as best as possible. So we're going to zoom into the map. You know, we got all our ice sand place up there. You're going to zoom in. It's called, I think it's called like Icewind Valley or something. There's 2 islands next to each other, and you want to be on the right hand side island, and you want to come down here to roughly about -303, -23, somewhere in that vicinity. Now, when you actually get here and you look around, if you look to the west towards the water, you want your foundation to be on the left hand side of the path, not the right hand side, because the right hand side gives you less space to work with over there. So you want to be here on the left hand side of the pathway, and you're going to aim towards the left hand lake, because there's one there, one here, and you're going to build in that direction. So that's the main thing. But before we get into it, you want to look at what kind of things you have on you at any one time. So you want stone, palladium fragments and wood, so that you can build the power boxes in all 7 bases. Whatever you are building your things out of, I'm going with wood this time. You want enough wood to cover probably 9,999 should be okay, but we're going to build guild chests so you get quick access to more materials. So you need ancient civilization parts. I think you need 10 of them. You need 50 refined ingots, and then, you know, some stone, I think it is. You'll have everything you need right here. If you want to build more than 1 guild chest, you're going to need more of that material. So if you've got 10 civilization parts, but you want to build 2 different guild chests, then you need 20 civilization parks, and so on and so forth. I just said parks instead of parts. So these are everything you need. Now, once you've got your first foundation in place, you want to use your foundations to build around it another extra layer. So we're going to go like this, and this is because once you place your power box here in the middle, anything directly nearby you cannot build within. So you want to make sure the foundations are there before you put down the power box. So we're going to do that now. Boom, boom, boom. Power box. There we go. We're going to place it sort of in the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm going to try and get it as close to perfect as I think it is. Let's just say there. Build it. Boom. And then if you are building guild chests, build it just right next to it. So we're going to go here, guild chest, boom. These take so long to build. 46 seconds is ridiculous. But once built, you have access to all of the rest of the materials you might need. So it saves you having to run back to a different base. So let's say you've got a base over here somewhere. You know, you don't have to keep running backwards and forwards. You've got a guild chest right in the center of all the 7 bases you are going to build. Now, for the first base we're going to move to, we're going to pick your foundation and we're going to go in the direction. So when you've got the outer layer, you want to be at the center part of the outer layer facing whichever way you're going to go. We're going to go west, and you want to go 20 foundations from here. So we're going to go 1. That's not what we're going to do. The sensitivity of the snap-on feature is ridiculous. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now, the reason why I pointed you in this direction first is because this is the first kind of clear indicator of where you are in terms of your building. This is going to be the center for your power box, and then you want to be close enough to the water but not touching it. And then you see a little bit of like the, I don't want to call it a beach because it's not a beach, but the difference between the grass and the water is like a stony pebbly thing. You want to see a bit of that, but you don't want to go over it at all. And now that you're here, this is going to be your power box one. So you just want to again build around the outside, around the outside, around the outside. I did not mean to build that one over there. Oh my god, I cannot see anything because of these trees. Boom. Take the trees out when necessary. I just use my assault rifle instead of having to constantly, you know, use my axe or something. Boom. Pick up all the materials, and then we're going to place the next power box. Now, when I do other bases, I'm not going to sit here counting every single foundation. We want to go power box. Boom. You want to face the base that you've already built, and you just want to bring it away until it turns blue. You know, as soon as it turns blue, place it there. You can, if you want, bring it a little bit further. I just usually typically guess. Boom, sorted. That is your second base done. Now we're going to go over to the other side and do the east version of this same base. So again, grab your foundation and we're going to start on this side here. So we've got 2 either side of us and we're on the outer layer. And we're going to go 20 in this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20. Boom. And then we're going to build a little layer around it again. Boom, boom, boom. And then this is going to be your center power box. Then we got the power box. We're going to face it towards the middle base and we're going to run it away. As soon as it turns blue, you can place it. This one's a little bit further away from the center than the other 2 we've placed. But that's just, you know, the mechanics of the foundations and the distances and stuff. So there we go. We've got 3 bases already done so far. Now we're going to build 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Now with the main base in the middle, we are over at the east side, over this side, and we're going to basically look at the power box, did not mean to pull you out, and turn to the right, and we're going to go in this direction. So we've got the 3 outer layer things, we're in the center one, we're going to go 17 in this direction. So let's get the foundation, and I won't count it all out, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 14. Get out of the way, chicken. Don't make me do it. Get you. Oh, I better push him this way. Get out of there. Go. Go that way. I've lost count now. 14, 15, 16, 17. Now from here, we're going to immediately turn right, facing west, and we're going to build 10. So 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10. Now this is where we're going to place our next power base. So we want to do the 1 outside layer. Boom, boom, boom. And then we're going to go straight to do the power base. So boom. Yeah, there we go. So we've got a base over there. We've got a base over there. So we need to be between them. So if we bring it back to the middle, it's going to turn blue any second now. There we go. So you want to be as close to the red as possible. And then go over to the right. So we're closer to the other base. So roughly about here. Now it's not slap bang in the middle of this one. But what it's going to do, it's going to allow the base over here to have a slight bit more space because it's pushed off to the right. And you've still got, you know, enough space, equal distance between all the other bases. So we're going to build that one there. Boom. Now that we have this base done, we're going to go ahead and build the base that's practically going to be around about here. And we're going to do it by facing west and building that direction 20 foundations. However, because the power box is pushed onto this layer, instead of starting here, we're going to start here and we're going to go 20 across. So just going basically as to where the power box is placed will give you enough range and distance that you can make this work a little bit easier. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 19, 20. Then you want to build that layer around again because this is where you're going to place your power box. There's stuff in the way over there. Come here. So place that 1, 2, 3 more across. Boom, boom, boom. And then we're going to place our power box here in the center. Now we're between 3 bases here. 1 over there, 1 over there, and 1 down there. So you just want to run around until you find it to be blue. It can be a little bit awkward at times because it is so tight between all 3 bases. I believe it's probably going to be over here somewhere. Wait, is there something else here? Let me get these trees out of the way. All right, there we go. Now I can find it. So on this side, it doesn't really matter because you've got all the bases built. But you do want to get it as close to the center as possible so that there's an equal distance between all the bases. Because if you put it back here, then the perimeters for the other side that's close to the center will be further away. So you just want to get it as close as possible between all 3 red bases. So it's probably just going to be roughly here. That's all you need really. And then that is 5 of the bases done. So the next base we're going to is this one over here. So we're going to build across to it so that we can connect them all up and show you a little bit about building over water. So essentially you just want to go this way. There's no set amount. It really depends on like where you are. But essentially you want to connect onto that base. Let me just get this out of the way first. Boom, boom, boom. So you just keep going with foundations this way until you notice that when you go in that direction, it will connect to that other base, which I think is here. So yeah, you just got to figure it out. You got to figure it out. Like you can see now I'm connecting to the corner of that base. You get out of my way. You get out of my way. And then we're going to talk about water, because water is fun to build over. Not really, but there's two ways to do it. So we're going to keep going until the foundations are red. We can't place foundations in water, so one of your best bets to do is build a roof. So we go 1, 2 roofs, and then you cannot build any more. You need another foundation attached to it, but I can't place a foundation there either. I could place one here if it'll let me. Come on, stop messing around. There we go. And it'll allow me to put one more roof, but then I'm stuck. You know, I could put another roof here and, you know, just go about my business. Oh my god, this is not playing well at the moment. One there, one here. You know, we can build it up actually, so it's covering the majority of the water, but you can see now I'm in trouble. So what you want to do is use a pillar. So the pillars, you know, they go in each corner, so you can see that one goes there. And then what that allows you to do is build something on top of it, like a floor or something. It's going to be very good if you want to build very, very tall, high bases. But they also work underneath as well to create the chance to add more roofs. And what you need to do is place it in the corner. However, it's a little bit finicky because they see the level of the water as the top, as where you're trying to place it. But you want to place it underneath the water on the ground. And what you need to do is walk underneath and just let it snap. Move your camera angle around until it snaps into place and then build it. And then what that allows you to do is add more roofs. So let me just get up here to make it a little bit easier. See, now I've got an extra roof here. And I can put another one there. Oh, this is really awkward. It's never usually this bad. So I can't place one there and I can't place one there. So then if we grab a pillar and we go underneath here, we could place one here. You know, we can go over here, place one here. Boom. And then place more roofs. So now I've got all the space in the world to be able to build it out until I can get back to foundations. That's not always going to be the case. Sometimes it's just going to be pure water. It really depends where your base is though. So I'm just going to quickly put in all these pillars and then continue to build. And as you can see, now I'm built over the water pretty nicely. You could add some more pillars in if you want to, just to make it a little look a little bit better. Like, completely up to you. I just don't care that much because I'm not really going to see the outside of my base. Now to connect it, you can use a foundation if you're close enough, and then it's just about clearing out all the trees and then filling in every space between all these bases. But now we need to go this direction and build our last 2 bases. Now that we are here, you can see we have 5 nicely spaced out bases. The other 2 over here are not going to be absolutely smack bang equal to the rest of them, just because of the initial platform that you build has to be at a specific angle, but we will get there pretty closely. It's just that the building rules are going to change a slight little bit now. But first and foremost, we are going to go from this base on the west hand side, and we are going to build towards the north for 18 foundations. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 15, 16, 17, and the 18th one is going to be a roof because we can't do anything about it otherwise. Boom. Now we're going to start building in that direction for 10 pieces, but you can either have it be foundations or pillars, really just up to you. So, you know, if you was to build a foundation, say here, you can then put 2 roofs next to it. But I'd rather go with pillars. However, just for the sake of this faster build, you know, we're going to try our best to avoid using any pillars. Like so. Oh, right. So as you can see here, we got what? 1, 2, 3 at the moment. So we need 10 more. So that's 4. Boom, 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 boom. 5, 6. Do a foundation. Do a foundation. 7, 8. 9, 10. I did miscount. I did 9. 10. This will be 10. Boom. Then we just want to build around it again as usual. If you can't get a foundation down, stick a roof in. Oh, there we go. And then we can go build the out box, and we're going to place it facing this way. Maybe not fall off, as close to the right as possible. You know, you can go pretty much anywhere. I'm just going to go basically about here because I think that's fine. Actually, I'm going to bring it this way a tiny little bit. Hold on. Actually, how much is there? Oh my god, there's a lot of space. I'm just going to put it in the middle. You know, you want to touch it as close to the middle one as possible. I genuinely thought that it was going to come to about here, but you know, I was wrong. So then we're going to build in this direction over here for 20 foundations, or was it a bit more? It might be a bit more, but we're just going to basically keep going. 4, 5, 6, 7, 19, 20. But before we put down this power box, we kind of want to see where would be the best place for it, because we might have to go like an extra couple. Okay, so I can get it about here. So one extra one, so we go 21 instead. Boom. To be fair, you could just keep going as much as you want, because we're going to be building that direction anyway. Just make sure that you build enough foundations around the edge, so wherever you do place the power box, you're not going to have to delete it and replace it to place some foundations. So we are going to basically run in this direction. So that's... oh, I forget about trees. I always forget about trees. They're just getting away. So you can see it's too close there, so we want to bring it across. It turns blue here. You know, we can bring it forward. We could... I'm just going to place it here. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Now, all we need to do is connect it up to the other base over there. And all you need to do is, wherever you place your base, what I suggest you do is go back over to this base. So on this side, which is the east side, go to the centerpiece of all three of the outer layer and then just build in a straight line. Keep building in a straight line until you can see your base on the left over there. And then it's just up to you where you want to connect it. So you can connect it slap bang to the center. You can get it to attach to the corner. It's completely up to you. I like to try and be as close to the center as possible. But the thing is no matter what, you're probably going to be building through the water and around in a big square anyway, because you're not going to be building just on the blue lines. You're going to be building a big kind of wall around it. So this here would be fine. 2, 3, 4. What I mean by that is even though the power box is there, you're going to be building foundations all the way into the water anyway. So it doesn't really matter on this last little base. And there we go. That is all 7 bases built. Let's look at the map and get out of building mode. And you can see that, you know, they're kind of equally apart, but they're probably, this one's a little bit slight off to the left. However, they are pretty damn close. So now all I need to do for every base is clear out all the trees and start placing some foundations. Now I'm not going to build a base on this video because you saw my base at the start, but I will show you what it's like when it's finished and all the foundations are on. Oh, we're getting there slowly. We're getting there slowly. So just a quick thing I wanted to add. If you get to a place where you may have placed some foundations before and you can't get things to go over a certain area like this one here, if it is within the bounds of your base, you cannot destroy it yourself. If I go over here inside this, I cannot destroy this. It's invincible. So what you need to do is destroy whichever base it is within. So this one here, I deleted the foundation as well so I can remember where the power box was. And then you need to put on a spear, walk up to the area, crouch down and start stabbing through the floor. Now I think I've already destroyed the one that I was supposed to destroy, that was blocking it all. Oh, there we go, I just got one. So now if I go back over and I build my foundation and build my power box, boom 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 boom, here. Oh god, now we've got to figure out where to place it. There we go. Now I should be able to build across this part. Yay, it's letting me. There we go. So if that's the case and you can't build anywhere due to the fact that there might be something stuck underneath like one of the little hills, delete the base nearby, smash it with a spear, and then continue with your day. So very quickly, let's just talk about building on water. I showed it briefly at the start, but you know, all I need to do now is just finish up my bases by filling in the gaps, but also going over this water here. And I'm trying to go like in a perfect square all the way around. And as you can see here, I built a lot of this here. So we're going to finish this off and I'm going to show you how to do it. So if we dismount here and get rid of this, I have been using roofs to get to here. So there's a lot of foundations and this is where the roofs now that I can't put any more down. So if I go here, it's always red, always red. So again, we're going to go with the pillars. And we're just going to hop into the water, we're going to get really close and we're going to look down until it snaps in like so. That is the easiest and best way to do it, is to get right underneath it, point your camera completely down and then press the button to build it. And you know, I'll just pretty much just place as many as you can. They don't need to be absolutely perfect on every single block on every single corner. You just need to spread it out enough so that you can use them as like a temporary foundation, so you can build 2 roofs off them, and then that will allow you to, you know, just finish your build like so. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to build some more roofs now. I think I need to go over one more, but we'll just do this here for now. So you can see I've got a lot of leeway now just from using several, not even a lot, like 5, 6, 7 pillars. And I just run through, just hitting on all my roofs. So yeah, I do need to actually make this one longer. Oh no, not connected to a structure. Let's just go and put another pillar in right here. Go on, get on. There we go. There's probably even a better way to actually attach the roofs, but for me, for some reason, it just feels easier to go in, to attach the pillars, but it feels easier to go in and just look down and do that. Right. And place a couple here. Go on, lock on, you know you want to. And then we can go here. We can go, I don't even, oh, that's not where I want it. Come on, come on. There we go. I suppose you could do that. You could plant one up top and then the other one will go directly underneath. Place this one here. And then, what the hell is going on over there? Oh, I changed my settings to have the degradation go up because I was trying something. Oh no. Boy, am I happy that I realized that before too late. I had all this side filled in. But because it's outside the base, obviously, it's decided to break them down. Well, it's a nice little way to see how big you can make a base, I guess. But I'm going to have to refill all those in, god damn it. So yeah, we'll just finish up here. You can see, use the pillars, use the pillars, use the pillars. And there we go. There is the video finally finished. You can see that all 5 bases are pretty much wrapped around with boundaries and pillars and foundations. I got to put up some walls and stuff. Let me know what you think about this video. Have you got a 7-in-1 base? Are you going to build one? Give me some ideas for my base. I'm going to grab this egg. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. I've been Easy Now. You guys have been awesome.